Okay, and this is now the 4th time I've started this clip, but I guess it's fitting because Project Put a Race Together episode 4. We just wrapped up 10 easy miles. They didn't feel that easy because it's so freaking hot outside. I feel unfit. It's also really hot. I don't really know. I feel like I need to run on a treadmill to figure out like where my fitness is really at because it's just too brutally hot. It's like too absurdly hot to really gauge it right now. I'm not as fit as I was pre-Jacksonville though, I know that. So we still have a lot of room to improve, always. But see those bags back there? Daily Doodle shirts packed up. I'm about to hop in the shower and then I will update. All right, it's Monday morning. I never made that update yesterday because honestly I didn't feel like it. But I'm packing up the last order. Not the last order, but the last order before my first trip to the post office. I'm totally covering up the speaker, but I'm gonna go to the pool and then I'm gonna run to the post office and then drop all these off on my way to the gym, and then we're gonna go to work. But printing off this last label, Janine, shout out to Janine, going all the way up to Tennessee. She got a black and white medium. Yeah, thanks to everyone that bought a shirt. It's fucking awesome. Here are all these. And I still have all those. I don't know if I'm past halfway of shirts. Probably, I hope. But if you want to buy a shirt, show some love, support, hey man, you should do that. I feel like if you're watching this YouTube video, you probably support me enough. Because I feel like Instagram's one thing, but these longer format videos, I feel like you have to actually like the person to some degree to watch the video. So if you're watching this video, bro, sis, buy a fucking shirt, cop one. They're awesome. Be open to yourself, spread some love. I think it's a cool thing to see, like, if you're just walking around, you just see like some shirt with flowers. I don't know, it just looks like a positive looking shirt. And I don't want all these extra shirts. Buy a shirt. Sell them out. But yeah, show some love. It's cool because all the names I'm seeing for people that bought a shirt, they're names I see on Instagram all the time. So thank you. And also surprised, honestly I'm surprised, a lot of people said they're gonna buy a shirt. None of them bought a fucking shirt. I'm gonna buy a shirt. Yeah, they're there. They're right there. They're asking for you. Yeah, so, yeah. But, nonetheless, I'm excited. And thank you to everyone that did buy a shirt, because I gave you a big old hug if I see you. But, yeah, gonna wrap up this order. Finish drinking my coffee. Where's my coffee? My coffee. And then get going with my day. But yesterday, so Saturday, we had a 2-hour bike and a 40-minute runoff. And then yesterday, we had a 10-mile long run. It was just so goddamn hot. So like, just the cardiac drift, the heart rate elevation throughout an hour and 20 minutes in the direct 90-degree sunlight. It was a lot. So we only averaged like it was a 759 mile. Heart rate was like 150. Average heart rate was 150. Started out really good, and then again, it's like, it's just so hot. Yeah, so I'm not that unfit. It's just so hot, I guess. But that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I'm sorry, but there's no such thing as a good smoothie without a banana. I'm sorry, there's just no such thing. There's just no such thing. Smoothie without a banana? No, but is it a smoothie with sparkling water? Damn right it is. You're welcome, try it out. Oh, exhilarating. It's exhilarating. It's fascinating on the tongue. Fascinating. Nonetheless, I'm watching this swimming video while I'm putting my laundry away. Fastest way to stop sinking legs in swimming. The guy is Itu Karvonen. Probably one of the most useful swimming videos I've ever watched, and I've watched a million of them. But maybe it's useful because now I kind of understand some of the terms he's talking about and saying like, you're doing this when you're not supposed to be doing this. So part of this video being so good is just me having a better understanding of swimming and all some of the nuances of it and the terms of it. But it was a great video, so I would recommend you watch it. It's about keeping your hips not sinking. But it's a lot of it. A lot of times people think, oh, I need to kick harder. No. Or I need a stronger core. Not necessarily no. He also says that if you have too strong of a core, it could be a negative. But also using the pull buoy, which isn't inherently bad, but when you're learning to swim, you're not learning how to swim because you're using the pull buoy. It puts you in a position of like, okay, I know I should be like this, but you're not actually engaging your core and doing the right little tweaks in order to do so. But the biggest thing was thinking of your body like a seesaw, and your lungs are full of air, so they'll float. And where's your head position? Because if your head's up, your legs sink. So that was the biggest thing. But just looking down, and I don't know, the way he explained it was good. So if you want to look up that video, you should look it up. Hello. It is 12:02. We got home from work. We cooked, we ate, we showered. Now we're headed to bed. I'm feeling pretty tired right now, I'm not gonna lie. It's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday, because that's the day that comes after Monday. I had an easy swim today. And then my new gym split is now going to be Monday, strength, lower strength focus day. Wednesday, upper body day. Friday, lower athletic focus day. And then I'll still mix in some pull-ups on all those days. And then Tuesday and Thursday will technically be no gym, but I'll either just up whatever cardio I'm doing that day. So like tomorrow's a bike and a run. Assuming the run feels well, it's 40 minutes. I'll probably go over like an hour as long as I don't feel like terrible. Because then I'll have more time because I'm not like, oh, I need to rush and drive to the gym. And then that's kind of the concept. And then give more time to doing stuff like the Stairmaster, which I have been doing, but I've only been doing 10 minutes, which isn't really anything to write home about, but eventually I'd like to start doing 30 when it'd be nice when I have more time. I'm working every day this week, so I'll be kind of rushing in the mornings, but yeah. Got the bike right there. Been looking at aero bar upgrades. This 2019 Speed Concept doesn't really have a lot of options just based off of the way that it is. So I can buy this adapter plate, which would get rid of the aero bars, and then put the adapter plate on, and then I can get like the brand, it's called Fast TT. Get those, or there's one it's called Tri-Rig where it deletes all of that, and then it mounts right onto the thing and it does the whole thing. It will replace the bull bars, the base bar down there, and replace the aero bars. If I did the adapter plate with the Fast TT, it would replace just the aero bars. I would keep the same base bar, bull bar, whatever. The adapter plate would go here, and then obviously the new aero bars. And then figure out like a hydration system in terms of bottle cages. Because right now I just have the one on the top of the frame, but I would like to have the double right there, and then just have one behind the seat. Or just not even do the behind the seat and just do the one there and then two there. And then have the 3 bottles. Which that's really only come like race day or really big races, but I'm kind of doing all this talking right now. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, good night. Good morning. All right, packing. So I woke up, had some coffee, had some coconut chia cereal, some electrolytes. Now I'm packing orders. So I made my first trip to the USPS yesterday. I don't know if I showed that on this camera, but that was the bulk trip, so that was all the initial orders. Now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more within that, from yesterday to today, so that's cool. So I'm packing up those real quick, and then gonna do, it's an hour and a half on the bike with 3x10. There's like VO2 max spin ups, but just for 20-30 seconds. And then 3x10 at 72% of our FTP, which will be like 209, 210 plus. And then a 5-minute at 75%, which will be, I don't know, 220, 40 something, or 224, 225. I don't know, it's all range, and I'll be outside, so it'll be up and down, but I'm gonna try to always push on the higher end. It'll say like say the target power is 220, or the target power for the 3x10 is 209 is what it said on my phone. It'll be a range from like 200 to like 220 or 230. And I'll always just try to sit at the top end of that range. So that's kind of what I do for these outdoor rides and get that extra little bit of work in. Yeah, I've been liking the outdoor rides way more. I was just riding in Zwift. I did a 30-minute recovery spin on Zwift on Sunday after my long run. It's just annoying. I don't know, it was just pissing me off. I was like, this is annoying. I was like, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So it's just bothering me. But here's what the setup looks like. So I have pirate ship open here. So it'll say a black and white extra large, and then it says a colored shirt large. I grabbed those, and then I could do get rates, and then I can get rates, and this is all in relation to having 2 shirts, and you have to put in the weight and stuff like that, and then it gives me the rate. So it's $7 for shipping all the way to Illinois. Yeah, and then I can print it. Well, I have to buy the label first. So if you're wondering, if you bought a shirt and you're like, oh, does he get the shipping? No, you still have to pay for shipping. So I just bought the shipping, I paid for that. I'll get the email notification on my phone probably in a second. There it is. I just got the email notification that I bought the label. Print label. There we go. Print. That's Y81 whatever is this. So print. Bam. Simple as that. And then I'll pack up that order. And then I'll try to hit the post office today because there's just these few orders. And then, yeah, so I'll do those workouts and I work at 4, but I should have time to, I'll have time to do that. I'll make time to do that. It's something it doesn't matter if I don't have time for it, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, so that'll be the plan, and then I'll open this up at some point today again, probably. All those orders are packed. It was 5, but hey, that's a good thing to wake up to. Happy about that. We have 18 shirts left. I have 1 large in the color, so 1 colored shirt left in large. And then I just have a few mediums, and then the rest are black and white. A few mediums in black and white, or just black medium, holy crap. And then some black larges. 18. I would assume, I think I've already said this in the same video, but if you're watching this YouTube video and you've made it even this far in, you probably like me enough to buy a shirt. Or hopefully, yeah. But nonetheless, yeah, let's sell them out. I can't do it. I was just thinking, like in my head, I was like, I can't do it. You have to do it. So you can't do it alone. As much as I do all this stuff alone, can't sell them out alone unless I want to buy all my shirts. But then it's like, it doesn't really make sense. But nonetheless, it's hot in my apartment. This AC, ever since I moved in, man, the AC has just been giving me issues. It sort of works, but not really. So that's been very obnoxious, but whatever. I'm gonna put in a work order again, but that's okay. Gonna hop on the bike, hour and a half on the bike, 40-minute runoff. Probably make it longer as long as I don't feel like crap. And then I'll head to the post office. I'll eat, daily doodle, edit. Kind of gonna make a reel out of this workout today. And then I want to get this YouTube video up either, maybe I'll finish it today, post it tomorrow, because I want to try to make the YouTube videos shorter, because I keep making them too long, and I don't think, it's just too long. I think 20, 30 minutes max. I'm looking at this thing's got a 20, 30 minutes max would be good, not like 40 to an hour. So yeah, that's the plan there. We just wrapped up the bike run brick. I got this headband on. It looks like I don't even know, it's nice, but it doesn't stay on when you're running. But more importantly, AC update, the whole thing's off. I sent in the work order. I was like, yo, this shit's like, it like works, but it doesn't work. Cause these past couple nights I'm going to bed, I'm like, I'm hot. Wait, it's not easy to sleep when it's hot. I'm sleeping like crap, but the whole thing's apart, as you can see. I don't know where the maintenance man is. He was working on it when I came back from the bike. I was like, oh, hey. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go run. So I'll be, you do your thing. And now I'm back with this all apart, but he's not here. But everything's apart. But I do need to shower. Oh man, it's a whole mess back here. Maybe I'll move that stuff a little bit. But I need to shower, so I'm gonna try to do that before he gets back because I live in a studio. So, and I don't have roommates, and I don't want a maintenance man roommate to see me showering. So I'm gonna shower before he gets back. All right, people. I don't know. We're about to go run. We're about to go run, and then we're gonna go swim. So we have 20-minute warm-up, 3 by 8 minutes at half marathon pace, and then, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I made any progress after Jacksonville, so I might just suck. I think I'm just getting worse, to be honest. But hopefully this will go well, but we'll see, and then we're gonna go swim. Oh man, what a whirlwind of a day, but you know what? That's just life. So we had that run earlier. Like, it didn't go bad, it didn't go great, but it's so hot. It's above 90 degrees. So like I get out there and it's just 90 degrees and it's only getting hotter. And the whole time I'm running, I'm just in the sun. So each set, the set was 3 by 8 minutes at a half marathon pace. So I was shooting for like a 6:30. This right now says I can do a 1:25 half marathon. It changes, like it'll say 1:23 one day, it'll say 1:26 one day, it'll say 1:25 the next day. It's constantly changing. So yeah, but so I was just targeting a 6:30 pace and then faster. So for the first set, we did, the mile was a 6:29, and then it's about like a mile and a half repeat. This watch, the Garmin lap thing is annoying because if I'm gonna manually lap the watch, I don't want it to lap until I click it again. But it will say, like, I'll start, like I'll press lap and then it'll be fresh, like distance 0, time 0. But then it'll lap itself after a mile, which sure, like it can do that, but if I'm gonna manually do it, don't lap on your own. I'm gonna do it because I'm doing a specific set that is more than a mile. So that's why I click lap. But no, Garmin says, no, I'm just gonna lap it at a mile. I don't want you to, because now it's like, I have the 1 lap, so it's 6:29 plus the minute and a half extra to get to 8 minutes. It's just annoying. I'm like, I want to do it. I don't want you to do it. So that was bothering me. I'm not gonna lie, during the workout. But so it's like 6:29, 6:33, 6:20, or the miles plus the little extra. It's annoying because I would rather just say like, it'd be like, oh, your average pace for this 8 minutes was 6:29. But no, it's like 6:29 plus a minute and 30. And then whatever the pace was for the minute 30, it'll say that. But I'm like, I don't know, I just find that annoying. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but I find that annoying. Or I'm using the watch wrong. Maybe you can make it where it doesn't do that. I'm not sure. But overall, like, they weren't bad. The second set was 6:33 because I was working with a headwind. So basically, like, there's 3 sets. So I did 1 going this way with the wind, and then the second one I went back against the wind, and then the third one I went with the wind. Because I wanted to stay around where I live, so I didn't want to run too far because I had to swim, and then I have to go to work, so I have to be timely with things. So the second set I was working with a gnarly headwind, I'm not gonna lie. So 6:33, it would have been, it was the headwind. It would have been 6:30 or a little bit faster. I tried to negative split everything, but working with the headwind, so whatever. And then 6:20 for the last one, and it was hot. Obviously, like if you run along Bayshore, if you're in Tampa and you know Bayshore, there's no shade. There's no shade. So you're just cooking in the sun the whole time. So was it terrible? No. Was it what I necessarily wanted to see? Not necessarily either. But that's what it is. And if I'm going to do a half marathon in about a week's time, weather-wise, it's going to be the same. It'll be in the morning, so it won't theoretically be as hot. I'm sure it's going to be really humid or something. But yeah, it's supposed to be for fun, but I still want to do good. So there's that. And I want to build confidence from this half marathon and this little triathlon coming up, just to going into Ironman Florida, because right now I'm not really confident in myself Obviously, me saying that isn't going to help. But, yeah. So, coming off of that run, I'm kind of, it was like 50-50. Wasn't stoked about it. Wasn't super disappointed about it. But I was kind of like, meh. My legs are also still really sore. I did hip thrusts. So, I'm changing out my workout split, which I think I've probably said this 10 times now. Probably within this video, too. Monday, lower strength. Wednesday, upper full body or upper body. Wednesday or Friday, lower body, kind of athletic focus. Today's Wednesday. I didn't go to the gym. I don't have time. But I did stretch though. But my legs are sore. I did hip thrusts on Monday. I thought it was from the Bulgarians, but no, it's from the hip thrusts. I've never really done hip thrusts. Like I have, but never consistently, because I don't really care to work on my butt. But it is good for athletic. As like an athletic crossover, hip thrusts are good. So I was doing them, but I think I did like 3 sets of 8 or something along those lines. But it's my glutes and where they tie into my hammies, that's where it's sore. And I was like, dang. Like it's sore where it hurts. Like, dang, it doesn't really feel that good. So my legs are still pretty sore, I'm not going to lie. But that wasn't going to stop me on this run, that's for sure. And then going into the swim, I was kind of like, I wasn't really happy. I was pretty disappointed. I was kind of like, just being a baby a little bit. But I got a Speedo. You see it hanging right there. It's the move. 126 average for 3,200 yards, 3,250. I'm stoked on that. Your average doesn't particularly matter. Like for my run today, the average pace was like 7 something, but I'm running, like I said, I ran all those, the 3x8 minute set was 6:30 and below, but the average pace was 7:20, 30 something. And that's because at the beginning you're warming up and at the end you're cooling down. You're just running easy. So the average pace is the average of all the stuff you did within that workout. Same thing with swimming. So I'm not every set going balls to the wall, but there's sets where you're pushing harder, there's sets where you're going easier. So does your average pace really matter? No, because what if one swim you're just doing all easy stuff and then you average like 130 or 140? And then the next swim you're doing all hard stuff and then you average a 120. It's just, it all depends on what you're doing. So I say this kind of lightly, but the 126 average is fucking awesome. Because it is good to see. I take it as like if you zoomed out. When I first started swimming, I was averaging 150 and sometimes like 140s. But as I get better, my general average goes down so that it was 140s. And then it was like, okay, we're starting to touch like 130s. Like it'll be like 139 sometimes. I'm like, all right, that's cool. As a general gauge of like me getting better as a swimmer. So now these the 126. I've had swims where I've averaged high 120s before, but they're far and few between. But the 126 is, I'm stoked on that. I'm super happy about it. And I found, well, one, honestly, the Speedo does help in terms of hydrodynamics because what I was using in the past was frankly embarrassing. Obviously it's weird to walk around in the Speedo because you're damn near naked, and if you've never worn one before, it feels very uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable, it's a little bit uncomfortable to walk around in public wearing something like that. At least for me it is. I'm like, well, this feels a little bit, it's very flattering to say the least. So there's that, but it has a specific use case, and that's why I'm using it. But what I was using before were the Wallaco half tights. They were ripped. They were ripped in the middle. I'd wear underwear with them, so you obviously couldn't see my nuts hanging out. But it's just, honestly, I was like, this is what I would tell myself. I'm like, you're wearing half tights with a fucking hole in them. This is more embarrassing than wearing a Speedo. Grow up. So I finally got the Speedo, but which has been a whole fiasco because I ordered one from DeBoer, which is like a good swim brand. It's too small, and then to ship it back, you got to pay for it all. So now I'm like, I don't even know what to do. But I got a cheap one on Amazon. Like the brand is Speedo, so it's not like It's a good brand, but I just like the fit of it. It covers you up a little bit more, which I like, I like that. But so hydrodynamically is better than my half tights that were all loose and like damn near just like I was wearing swim trunks. If you wear swim trunks, it's like you're swimming with a parachute. You're just making yourself slower. I guess swimming with a parachute would be like you're trying to swim harder, but just wear paddles. I don't know. But yeah, and then also my head position. So I watched this video on YouTube that actually really did help. It seemed to click in my mind very well. And a lot of it was just your head position, because when you're swimming, you want to be flat. You don't want to be, imagine my hand is the body. You don't want to be like this, because now my palm is the legs. Now your legs are dragging, so you're slowing yourself down. You want to be like this. You're streamlined. You're going to move better, more efficiently through the water. And a lot of that roots in your head position. So say your head is like up like this, your body is going to go up or go like this. But if your head position is more down, your body will naturally move even out. It will naturally level out. So there's different things you can do to like help with that. Well, if you put the head position aside, you can do things like engage your core. Your kick kind of helps. A lot of your propulsion moving forward is from your pull, the push-pull from your arms, not really from your kick. Especially for someone like me, like triathlon training, in specific with Ironman, where it's a 2-mile swim, you're not going to be kicking, they say like 1 beat, 2 beat, I guess maybe 2 beat, 4 beat, 6 beat kick. You would have more of like a 2 beat kick, because your legs are big muscles that take a lot of oxygen. So you're not going to be, 6 beat kick was like, you're kicking 6 times between each stroke, I think is what that essentially means. That would be like you're swimming like a 50 or 100, really trying to swim really fast. And you're not going to be doing that for a 2-mile swim. Unless, I guess, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to go do that. I'm not going to say you can't do that. But your kick helps balance you out a little bit. Your hip position helps balance you out. Engaging your core will help balance you out. Your chest position. And the guy in the video was talking about your lungs are filled with air, so your lungs will float. It's like putting a balloon underwater. The balloon comes up. So your lungs are like a balloon. So like a seesaw. But where your head position is at is where your body's going to naturally tend to go. So basically, just look straight down. I've had people say look slightly ahead of you, whatever, but just look straight down. And honestly, that helps me a lot more, because when people say like, oh, just look slightly ahead of you, you're like, how much is slightly? Like how forward is slightly? So I was literally just looking straight down. And I feel like that's better. And I feel pretty comfortable in the pool where it's like, I don't particularly need to look at the flags to know when to flip turn and stuff like that, because there's the T. And it's different in my pool. I don't know if every pool is like this, but in the deep end, the T is closer to the wall than in the shallow end. I don't know. I was kind of thinking about this earlier. I was like, maybe it's because of the depth. So maybe it looks closer to the wall, like the water, the illusion. I don't know. That was just something I was thinking about. But either way, the T is closer to the wall when you're swimming and when you look down. And then in the shallow end, it's further away from the wall. So I know those little things. So generally, like, I'm like, I don't particularly need to look at the flags. But when you breathe, you'll see them, / you'll see the shadow underwater. So you're like, you're close. But just looking straight down. Which that will naturally just level you out. You look straight down, you generally level. And yeah, that was the biggest tip. It's just head position. He also talked about feeling water come slightly over the top of your head. That one's a little bit tough, because you literally have a fucking rubber thing on your head. If you have short hair, you don't particularly need to wear a swim cap. Like if you have like a buzz cut or just really short hair, you don't particularly need it. So maybe then it would be that would be a good cue to like feel water on top of your head. I was trying to think about that when I was swimming, but I was like, it's kind of hard to feel it because I have this cap on my head. So yeah, but it helps. I liked it. Oh, and then also breathing out is a big reason why when you're swimming and you have that carbon dioxide buildup in your chest and it's like super uncomfortable and it's like it kind of burns almost. It's just the carbon dioxide buildup in your lungs because you're not breathing out. when I swim, I think I'm breathing out, and I do breathe out, but I'm not constantly breathing out. Right when my head's underwater, it's not a consistent breathing out. It would be more like my head's underwater, I'm not breathing, and then I'd come up and then blow air out and breathe in. Not at the same time, but right after another when I'm lifting my head out to breathe. When in reality, when you're lifting your head out, you should just be sucking in air. So you're breathing out underwater. So that was something I was getting better at in humming. When you hum, you breathe out. So watch this. I'm humming, but my cheeks are filling up. So I can't hum without air coming out. So you just hum, air comes out. So I'm literally underwater going like, like a car, but it makes you breathe out, and it actually helps a shit ton. So even when you're swimming easy, hard, whatever, it helps a fuck ton because you don't get that burn, or at least not quite as much. And then you come up, you suck in the air, and then it was kind of revolutionary for me. So those two things, putting those together, were super useful. Well, I guess three things because the Speedo too. So putting those three things together were really useful. So now moving forward, I'm just going to continue to try to build upon those things. And it makes the flip turns a lot better because one of the things what I would do is I would just hold my breath. I wouldn't breathe out. So then by the time I'm coming back up for air after the flip turn, because you're kind of underwater a little bit longer than you would typically be, sort of. When you're doing that, I would stick my head up and be like gasping for air, when in reality I would just breathe out, try to relax and breathe out while I'm doing it, and then I'm like, oh, this isn't as like crazy. So when you're pushing hard and you flip turn, you're not like totally gasped for air by the time you come back up. So yeah, I don't know, hopefully some of that stuff made sense, but was really happy about the swim, so that fires me up. I also think too, just it's a confidence thing. Having the Speedo on is a confidence thing. It's like, if I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna be good, you know. So confidence is huge. It's never something I've been the best at, but I built a lot of confidence. But you got to keep working on. You got to keep working on it. So keep reminding yourself. So confidence is a big thing, which helps. But yeah, hopefully that was all good. And then I was wearing the Adidas whatevers. Got me a good old blister on my heel. But I need to eat and leave for work, because I need to leave for work in like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna go to work because I gotta get there.